Molly.
Hey, y'all. Okay.
Hey, y'all.
We got Raylyn in the house.
We got Raylyn in the house.
And she has been on a, let's copy everything mommy does kick. So, apologize in advance for that. So, we're going to get her paint palette started.
Fine.
Like we always do. We've got mommy's messy paint palette ready to go. If you can't tell, we are painting a message in a bottle today. I'm going to show you how to get translucent glass. So, this is going to be fun. I have her stocked up with just random things to paint. And she is happy-go-lucky about it. Raylyn, what colors do you want, baby?
These.
You want these. Okay, so what color is this?
It's green. I want to do it.
No, mommy's going to pour your paint because as happy-go-lucky as you are today. No, let mommy. Hey, why don't you come, while we're pouring your paint, why don't you come stand right here and show them what you have on today?
No.
Miss Pam will love to see that you're using it.
Oh.
So Miss Pam Savage has a daughter who made Raylyn this little apron, and it is the cutest little apron. She hand delivered it, y'all. She was headed off to Mississippi on vacation, and she stopped. Let me see it, please. That one needs to be open. And she stopped by Shreveport to hand deliver that to Raylyn, and I thought it was just the sweetest thing. Anytime she heads to Mississippi, this is I think the second time since Miss Pam and I have crossed paths that we have gotten, or at least she was able to try and, here, I'm going to put your little paint palette right there, okay? And your water right there, and you've got your paintbrushes. You're set?
Ho, ho, ho.
You know what you don't have?
Merry Christmas.
You don't have,
What?
it's okay. She
What
doesn't
is
have something underneath hers to keep the paint from going everywhere, but that's okay. We're just going to trudge through. So I just wanted to make sure Miss Pam has not seen her wear it yet. I need to get a picture of her and send it to her. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Terry. Hey, Deetra and Dana and Jerry. How are you? Oh, and Cindy. What's up? Okay, so let's get started painting. I've got my paint cart right here. So I spent all week, last week, organizing this area because y'all know crafters, we get crazy, right? So I just took all my paint and put it used to be on my big cart over here. It is now on my little cart over here. Not organized in any one particular way. I just have like all the purples kind of in a purple area, all the blues in a blue area. Some blues are over here, some green blues are over. There's no rhyme or reason to this. But for our message in a bottle, and I did not pull up, so we're just going off of memory here. I'm just kind of going with a feel. I think either spa blue or Indian turquoise. I normally go with Indian turquoise. But for our message in a bottle, what are we thinking? Terry's like, yes, message in a bottle. We're going to do a lot of shading in this one. I should have base coated. Oh, he's got a pink mouth. I should have done some base coating, but that's okay. We'll just go on. I have a tattoo of a sand dollar. What? Terry. Scandalous. I got a tattoo too, so don't think I'm not judging. I got one too. Not of a sand dollar. I want to hear the story behind that one day. Good morning, Lena. Okay, so I'm thinking Indian turquoise because this is going to be really light, and this is going to be, it's going to just wash out. This is going to be a little darker. This is going to be darker. This is going to be a darker blue. I'm thinking, why don't we do the bottle in spa blue, and we will shade in Indian turquoise. I don't normally go bottle to bottle when it comes to shading. I normally ghost one out and use the original straight from the bottle color for shading. But let's go crazy. Let's just use all the paint colors. Let's just do that.
Mommy,
hey, Marie Mosley.
That's how you do all of them.
Why don't I do all of them?
Yeah.
So there was another design. Okay, this was what I had originally planned to paint, but since this was supposed to be Monday's paint project, but we got sidetracked Monday and I was not able to paint live with you. So I made it today's paint project. But since I didn't paint it Monday, I was like, oh, sky's the limit. I don't have to stay on course with the original plan. And I wanted to use my cheetah print stencil just because It's Erika. I really wanted to use my cheetah print stencil.
Mommy,
And
I want a cheetah print.
okay, when you're 100% done and everything is 100% dry, you can use my cheetah print stencil. I have to finally clean that daggum thing or make a new one.
I'm doing it now.
No, nope, not happening. I'm just base coating this entire thing spa blue. Spa blue it is.
Brown like root beer.
Brown like root beer. Oh, that's a good one, Ray. Good job. Yes, this could have definitely been a root beer bottle, huh?
Yeah.
I actually have a root beer template in the shop that is really popular. People sometimes turn it into, there's a root beer float, and then there's, because it has a cherry, and then there's one without the cherry, and some people use it for root beer. Some people use it for like a Father's Day design, and it is just like a lager beer looking draft beer design. Oh, look at what I'm doing. Look at what I'm doing. This one was supposed to be for a giveaway. Look at this. I had them stacked. Hold on. I got to revive it. I got to fix it. Where's my baby wipes? Everything's moved. Nothing's in my organized chaos.
What happened?
Everything has a place right now. Have you ever cleaned your craft area and now you like to organize it and now you don't know exactly where everything's at?
What happened, Mommy?
I accidentally got paint on this one that I was going to give away. And it's okay. It's still wet. It's still wet. Y'all love me, right? Y'all, if you're watching this, you knew it was an accident. So if it has a little bit of blue on it, you won't be upset. I think I got the majority of it off. Yeah, no, I got it all off, actually. I got it all off. So with that being said, anybody who like spreads the good word that we are live today, painting a message in a bottle, I have one ready to ship. I will ship it today. Well, no, I'll probably ship it tomorrow because I'm going to give it 24 hours for the people who watch the replay. So anybody who watches it within the next 24 hours and hits that SHRE word and sends it out into the interwebs is entered into a random drawing to win one of these. I might even pick someone random while we're watching today. So, I don't know. I haven't decided that yet. So let's finish base coating this one.
Mommy.
So you know what to do. If
Look,
you spin the
Mommy.
good word out, that Santa Claus is so colorful. That is so colorful,
Can
Ray.
I show them?
You absolutely can. So we are just base coating spa blue. You know what I'm about to do? Thank you, Terry. Terry just sprinkled the good word. I am going to actually make this bigger. Let's make this bigger. I forget to do that sometimes, so I'm sorry. So let's make that. But good thing, we're just base coating. Now, see, do you see how I crossed the line on the sand dollar? The sand dollar is going to be a very off-white, but blue, no matter what shade of blue, blue likes to seep up. The pigment of blue likes to seep up through different layers of paint. So let's just, for continuity, right?
Mommy,
just across the...
Am I elf?
Are you an elf? If you want to be, baby.
I am elf.
You are an elf.
Yes. I went Santa Claus in the heaven.
So there we go. We have a very blue bottle at this point. Let's see. Good job, Raylyn. Miss Mandy is loving it. Charlene, you have sent it out. Oh, thank you, Charlene. You have a package that's making it to the post office today. You have one that is coming today. I had to double check it before I sent it out, before I made the label for it. Oh, no. Before I made the label for it, and thank God I did, because I cut the wrong one out. Because, you know, we got two different versions of that particular one in the shop. I cut the wrong one out. So, of course, I have cut my last order in my shop. All of my blanks are now going through Home Creations, Milling and Signage, and they have done an amazing job. Charlene's was my very last order, right? Charlene was my very, very last order. And, of course, I've only had I can count on one hand, and really I can count on 3 fingers how many times we have had a package go out and get damaged in the years that I have been doing blanks. And I don't know why. It's just the luck of the draw. We're going to blow dry this. Come here. But the very last one in the order, there was one broken. And I mean, all the other damage, hold on. All the other damages that have been done in the past have been just minor little things, nothing major, but the last one went out with a bang. I mean, it was a cow head. It's one of the cow heads, And I mean, like, they pretty much severed that ear off. Like, the picture was horrific. Tummy, you know, like, I'm like, whoa, that's the worst I've ever seen it coming from my shop. Thank you, Cindy.
I think that's enough blow drying.
That's enough blow drying?
Yeah, my turn.
Let me see if it'll stretch that far without making a mess. Yeah, it will.
Is it my turn?
Yep, it's your turn. How you turn it on?
Yeah.
There you go. Let's see. Da-da-da-da-da. Good morning, Christy. All right, so we've got our spa blue down here. We are going to then paint our message now. We're going to paint our message. All right, so let's pull a very parchment-like paper. Now, Apple Barrel has parchment paper. That would be good. We've got light buttermilk here. I don't think I want that. I think I want I think I know what I want. Yeah, this is what I'm going to want to do. I think we're going to do light buttermilk and we're going to shade with burlap. Absolutely. If you're wondering what that was, her paint palette was getting caught underneath the iPad. So y'all don't forget, if you spread the good word, if you hit the SHRE word and send it out into the interwebs that we're painting something really fun, and we're going to learn a really fun technique today on how to make it look like glass, where you have something stuck in the bottle.
How you turn it on?
I'll show you that later. How about that? I'll let you practice it later. It's your, so we don't need to do that yet. I'm going to bump down and brush eyes. I just pulled a 1-inch flat brush.
Is it time to do the stencil?
Stencil is very last. You can do that when we're done painting with our friends, okay? Because Mommy's going to need to help you. Let's see. Let's grab an angle brush because angles are our very best friend in painting. Let me just find the size that I want.
I'm done with my Santa Claus.
Oh, okay, here we go. Perfect. We've got a 3/8.
People, look my Santa Claus.
Look at her Santa Claus. Isn't it beautiful? It is beautiful. One of these days, I'm going to cherish every single one of these and look back and just cry my eyes out because my baby's not a baby anymore.
Mommy, yeah, okay, I'm not a baby.
No, you're not. I forgot to wet my brush and it felt so weird. Thank you, Miriam. So everybody who hits that button is being entered in to win or to be gifted a blank to paint along with our tutorial today. And I'm just going to randomly pick someone from the list. So Facebook accumulates a list.
Mommy, what's yours?
And I think I'm just going to let Raylan, like, do one of those things. I think I'm just going to let Raylan do one of those.
Is that milk?
It does look like milk, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it looks like root beer.
It does. Well, yes, you were right. You've already, let's see.
Rag, please.
You here, I got you your own rag. See right here at the bottom of our cart, I have a whole bunch of rags down there for you.
A brown rag?
Uh-huh.
I can't reach it. I don't
You know what? We will go to Walmart. I normally get my paint rag. These are just mainstays dish towels. That's all I use. And whenever I see a purple one, I grab it. You know, I have a good stash of them. This one is my favorite, though. And there's obviously a favorite in the bunch because it has more paint than anybody. Did I just personify all of my paint rags? There's more paint on one particular one than the rest. Of course, some are newer than others. But at the bottom of this cart, I have deemed it the paint rag thing because I can never find my paint rags. And I have figured out why. My husband puts them in the regular dish towel stack. You know, every good Southern woman has just a bucket of dish towels, right? Or a drawer full of dish towels that are allowed to clean up messes. There are some of our pretty ones, like our tea towels. There are some pretty ones that don't you dare clean up a mess with that.
I need black. I need black.
Black's dead last, baby. We'll put black on all of them at the same time. How about that? Okay?
No.
No.
The flamingo used to put feathers.
So we're just doing a base coat, okay?
Maybe I can.
So I have learned that and this one was the only one I could find for the longest time. Graham was putting them in the regular dish towels, and they were getting buried because nobody wanted to use the paint filled ones to clean up messes. They were clean. They obviously went through the dishwasher. They obviously went through the washer, but they got all buried. So I discovered them this past week when I was cleaning, and periodically I was pulling one or two out of as I was noticing them coming out of the dryer. I was like, oh, it got washed, no big deal. I'll put it in my paint, and then they disappear again. But this one hardly ever gets washed. I'm gonna not lie to you. This one hardly ever gets washed because I hold it for dear life. I never let it, like when I get done painting, I stuff it somewhere so that he can't find it and wash it. Because they go in the wash and never come out. And now I know why. All right, so now we're going in with another layer. I don't need to use the blow dryer this time because light buttermilk dries really fast because it has a chalky consistency, and chalkier paints tend to dry faster. I'm going to go back in with
Mommy,
deepen the color.
I need to wash my hands, okay?
Okay, baby.
I'm done.
I know you're not done. It's okay. You can go wash your hands.
Thank you, but Mommy.
Mm-hmm.
Why she likes this? Why she likes this?
Huh?
Why she likes this?
What?
Why she likes?
Who is she? Your flamingo?
Yeah.
Because she's a sassy flamingo. She has pearls on. She's a flamingo with pearls. Okay, so there we go. We're going to let that dry because it's still going to need about a half a coat. We're going to let it dry. Let's bump up to, let's go ahead and paint our sand dollar. Now, I have a color called bleach sand. Let's see if it's going to be a good sand dollar color. Yes, I think so too. It's just a little taupier than light buttermilk. It's going to be a little taupier. We want our message to be a little brighter because remember, we're going to put a little bit of a glassy wash over it. Becca was very vocal on my live last night, and I was thinking the same thing. What's that? What is that? What you been up to? Me, Terry? What have I been up to? Oh man, okay. So have you ever? It's not spring cleaning time though. This is bleach sand, by the way. I know I've said that, but let me say it again. I've just been organizing things. But I've been half organizing things. I get to working on a project, and then all of a sudden it sparks the need to go do something else because I have to exit the room and go put something away. And then I realize something in the new room has to be done. And so there's a lot of half projects done, but I have told myself before the summer is over that they all have to be done.
Erika, look at my flamingo.
My flamingo.
Mom, did you blow dry it?
I did not. You walked away and the wood soaked up the paint. That's what wood does. Paint has liquid in it, right? It's a liquid. And so whenever you let it just sit there, it soaks it up just like paper. Because what is paper made out of?
Plastic.
I was curious if she knew where paper came from yet. So there's our first coat of bleach sand. Let's base coat that. Let's base coat it a lighter brown. This is honey brown, but honey brown doesn't have a very good consistency.
Mommy,
it's sheer. And when you're done, before we do the black, we will do gold. I think we're going to go with fawn. And then we may mix a little, no. Actually, I am lying through my teeth. What do I want to go with? I'm going to go with burnt sienna. That's what I want to go with. I want to go with burnt sienna. It's a good.
I'm going to go for sienna.
You want some burnt sienna?
Yeah.
Sienna probably would have been better, but I'm out of sienna. I'm going to go with burnt sienna.
Burnt sienna. Yeah, sienna.
I haven't changed brushes yet. What color was the base? Spa blue. And we're probably going to shade with Indian turquoise or something of the like. Maybe ocean blue. Just depends on what it looks like.
I want sienna burnt.
You want burnt sienna?
Yeah, burnt sienna. Burnt sienna. Burnt sienna.
This is burnt sienna.
Mommy.
What, baby?
Whoa, what's in there?
What's in what? That's my message in a bottle.
Oh, is it milk?
No, it's paper rolled up.
Can we just call it milk?
Someone got shipwrecked on a crafty island and said, hey, don't come save me. I just want to let you know I'm living my best life over here with all these abandoned craft supplies. That's what they're saying.
Oh.
So what I thought was if this was painted as a door hanger, you could put the family's name on the
Back.
On the little open part of the letter. You could put ahoy matey. You could put any of your little favorite pirate what are one-liners, sayings, blurbs. Yeah, all of that. What else could we put on a message in a bottle? Like, what would be fitting to put on a message in a bottle? Like, obviously, we can personalize it and put a family name. We put help, because obviously a message in a bottle is usually a distress thing. So all I'm doing is I'm just outlining this rope with the toe of my angle brush. You don't want to use a brush too small, but you also don't want to use a brush too big on little elements like these. You want to get one that's a Goldilocks fit, like it's just right. And it takes practice to kind of get a feel for which brush is going to be just right for the any particular job size. What's the matter, baby girl?
I need to wash my hands again.
You need to wash your hands again? I bet her teacher loves her. She probably helps a lot. I love her little voice. Well, okay, so Ginger, you know how frustrated I got last week. I told myself I was going to give her a lot of grace and give myself a lot of grace while we paint live. And we had a better morning this morning. Last week it was a stressful week just because we were all kind of tackling projects and all getting frustrated with our projects in the house. And I just don't think we were starting our mornings off right. We have started our morning off better this morning than we have in weeks past. So I think that's going to be in our favor. But I remember going back and listening while I was catching up on comments. Let's not do the dishes right now, baby. Mommy will get those later. And her voice just sounds sweeter and just littler, if that makes sense. Her voice just sounds so much more little on the replay than in real life, because I'm hearing it in real life and I'm hearing like where I'm more focused on what she's saying than the way it sounds. I'm like, she's so little. Why is my baby so little? You're so precious.
Okay. I'll let you do the rest.
You're going to let me do the rest? Okay. Well, I'll sit these here. What are you going to do?
I'm going to make all the whole house of ice.
You're going to fill the whole house up with ice?
Yes, with my ice powers.
Okay. We're going to pretend that you have ice powers.
No, I have real ice powers.
All right, go on with your bad self then. All right. Cool it off. It is almost 100 degrees outside. It is 100 degrees with the heat index. So we're just going on and putting our second base coat. Just a second coat of this bleached sand for our sand dollar. Do y'all mind her version of Elsa songs? I hope you don't, because it's probably going to happen.
I want to say.
You want to take your apron off now that you're not painting? Here, turn around and it's just in a bow.
Okay, why in the bow?
Now that she has it off, y'all, let me show y'all this. So Miss Pam's daughter made this. Here. Sorry, let me go at least back. Look at this. It's got unicorns and rainbows on one. It's double-sided, so she could use whatever size she wants. I'm going to have to order another one for, like, as a backup. I hope she's making this. I hope this is like a business. I want to support her little small business if she does. I may have to just sweet talk her into making another one. I need it in a bigger size. So because she's in between sizes right now, this works for right now. But I bet you it's give her just the summer and she's going to be in big girl sizes pretty soon. All right. So I'm cleaning my brush because the next element is a different color. Even though they're similar colors, they're different colors. Isn't it cute? Send some of that ice to Alabama. Miss Mandy says send her some ice. Right. Miss Mandy she is just blistering hot over there. Can you send Miss Mandy some ice over to Alabama? She goes, oh, well, she's okay.
Here's the ice ball.
Here's the ice ball. Okay. Here you go, Miss Mandy. She says, here's the ice ball.
Mommy, why are you laughing?
Because you're just precious. You're just precious. I'm telling you, I'm going to look at all, just like her brother. Her brother's a teenager now. I listen to old recordings and because I used to record his little voice all the time, just because I just knew I was going to miss. I always thought he was going to be our only one. And so, you know, I was trying to cherish every single drop of his childhood as I could. And I did, you know, I was always there from day one. You know, I've been his constant, like in his life. I've always been his constant. That's what he'll tell you. I've been his constant. I've always been there. And there's just something about, she's playing My Little Pony back here. So don't worry. She's not messing with anything she's not supposed to. Although there is some breakable stuff back there. But she's plinking around. It's all ceramics. I listen to his voice on the recordings and they're just so baby. And I'm like, where did my baby go?
Mommy.
Oh, speaking of things back there, I just looked back there to see what she was messing with. She's got her My Little Ponies. She got Ponyville going on in my so if y'all notice this little dude right here, let me see if I can get him in the. We painted him last week, I think a week ago, last Thursday. So if you want to catch his tutorial, he's last Thursday's tutorial. So it's the tutorial right before this one. And there is a free template for him. So if you put the word gnome in the comments, I don't mind. Like I will make sure that you get that as well. If you've already gotten your template, don't worry. You don't have to put gnome in the comments. You're set to go. But there is a free template that goes with him. And we're going to be using that template again. We're going to be using it again to do different projects. You're going to want that template. Uh-oh, we've got a popsicle.
It's yellow.
Also, while we're on the announcement kick, I've got a free one of these that I'm going to be gifting away to anybody who sends this video out into the interwebs, the SHRE word. And I will be gifting it to one random person on the SHRE list. I think I'm just going to let Raylyn just pick her favorite one on there. She can't read, so there's no favoritism there. All right, so we are going to take our spa blue. Let's see. I think we're going to take our Indian turquoise, actually, and base coat just this one little section of the bottle right there. This is one little section of the bottle right here. And I'm going off of memory on this, so if it doesn't match the mock-up completely perfectly, that doesn't make no daggum sense, Erica. What did you just say?
You get your popsicle when you need it.
Did you get me a popsicle too?
I don't get my popsicle now.
Here, no, here. You didn't cut this one? Put this back in the, I can't eat a popsicle right now. That's rude to eat a popsicle in front of my friends if I don't have enough to share. I don't have enough to share. I think we only have a 10-pack. We got more than 10 hanging out with us.
Okay,
but that was sweet of you, baby girl. All right, so we've got, this is Indian turquoise, and I am convinced this is going to be a good shade color. So we're going to stick with it.
Come on, look what I got for me.
What did you get?
I got orange popsicle.
Did you get an orange popsicle? So usually when your glass is thicker, it's darker. So just, oh, well, get me doing this again. So when you double up your glass, make sure you double up your color. See, I have something in the way, so I'm having to like really get off to the side. We need a lot of ice down here in Thibodeau, It's already 87, but it feels like 101. Hey, Raylyn, I'm wondering what the temperature is here. Raylyn.
What?
Ma'am, why don't I cut that for you if you go get Mommy's watch? Can we help each other out here? Because I'm really curious to know what the temperature is here.
Here's the scissors.
Thank you. She's got her little girl scissors. It's on the rocking chair, but be careful because it's on the charger. Use my cruddy scissors, not my paper scissors. All right, come here. I got your popsicle. Oh, that looks so good. I love orange. Orange is probably orange and pink and blue. I think I'm my favorite. Thank you, baby. Let's see what the temperature is here. All right, Kim. Let's see if we win. You're more southern Louisiana, so you probably win with all that extra humidity. We get the humidity, but not like you do. $88. Did I beat you? Ah, you're 87. I beat you. 88. Give it a minute. We'll wait for it. Nobody's talking to you. Stop it. Okay, so let's go back and do a second coat of our burnt sienna. So my trick to good shading, good floating is to make sure all your base coats are just done and do a very good job on the base coat itself. Don't get sloppy on your base coat. Don't set yourself up for failure. Set yourself up for success and move your project around to benefit your needs. Don't think that you have to keep it north and south 100% of the time. It does not have to be that way. And since I did a really good job on that very first base coat, I'm not having to be super persnickety about the second one. I can kind of just throw it on there because I'm not having to go to the very edge of anything. What did you do, baby girl?
Mommy, look at me. Look at my toes.
What's on your... Oh, you're on your tiptoes like a little ballerina. You just reminded me I need to call the dance studio. Her grandparents want to potentially let her try out dance. And I don't know how I feel about that. Not necessarily not letting her, or, you know, I don't know. I know there's a lot of little girls that do dance. And I know she would have fun. I don't know. Maybe we probably wouldn't do it until the school started. I think I want her to have, I'm trying to find a really good cork color. I want it to be darker than our burnt sienna here, but not too dark. Let me see. I wish I could find my Mississippi mud, because that's the color I'm looking for, but it is vanished. So we're going to go with burnt umber. We're going to go with traditional burnt umber, to be exact. It's 90 here with heat index. It feels like 97. It's 87 here. It feels like 97. I wonder what our heat index is. I don't have my... Oh, nope, I lied. It's 90 here already. Our low was 73, probably at midnight. It was probably... Well, let's ghost this out a little bit with our, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay a light coat of this down. I would have normally mixed this together or messy painted this on, but I already had my brush loaded up and I don't want to dirty up my light buttermilk. So there's our cork. I'm going to add just a little bit of light buttermilk to my brush. We're going to lighten this up just a little bit. It'll give us a little bit better coverage because that light buttermilk is so thick. And traditional burnt umber is a thinner consistency. I'm up on the chiseled edge, and I'm getting a nice crisp line. Remember, you do a good job on these base coats, and they will not fail you in the next coats. So there's our cork. Okay, I think we are completely base coated out. I think it's time to start shading. Let's see. My daughter started dance when she was first grade and danced all through school, high school. She loved it. I have so many friends. We have here in town, it's a traditional ballet theater school. Like there's there's a full education. I think they get, if they do the program, I think it's a program that they go through. If they do the program and they do the program right, they end with like some college degree, like I think some form of degree or a partial degree or something like that. It's pretty cool what they got set up over there. But it's very serious, and I don't know if I necessarily want her. That's the thing. It's not that I don't want her to do dance. That's what I was getting at. Is I don't know there's multiple studios here, and the one that I would lean towards is, if we're going to do it, let's invest into it and make sure that it benefits her later on. But if we're just doing it for fun, I need to know, and it's hard at this age to know what's going to be what later on in life. It could just be for fun right now, and she'd be a gymnast later on, or she could be a STEM student that doesn't do the arts at all. She's all academic. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just that when they brought it up, I was like, oh, that's a lot of, I got to put a lot of thought into that because there's so many different routes we could go. I think we'll start off with just it being fun and then see where after the first year or so, evaluate and transfer to the more serious school if we need to. Okay, so we've got light buttermilk, spa blue, bleach sand, burnt sienna, and traditional burnt umber. This is Indian turquoise. Okay.
No, Mommy. Milk and Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
River.
The river.
And oatmeal.
And oatmeal. Okay. Actually, that looks more like oatmeal.
No,
that looks like a rock. Okay.
No, that doesn't.
So we are going to now.
I got popsicles on my face.
Yeah, popsicle. You do have popsicle on your face. We're going to bump up in brush size. We're going to go back to our big old base coat brush that we used. We are going to grab blending gel. It is going to be everything is in its own new little place, and I don't know where everything lives. Where's my blending gel? Hold on. Oh, no, I know where it lives. Hold on. Whew, I was getting nervous there for a second. I was like, no, okay, so usually when we float, and we will be using this later, we use floating medium, okay? So floating medium. That's what we use whenever we shade, right? For this technique, for the glass look, we're going to use blending gel. And I'll tell you why. Blending gel is a dry time extender, and it is for blending, right? You can also use it for floating too, depending on your climate. It can be a really good alternative to floating medium if your paints tend to dry faster because of your climate. Ramo, let's not do that. Let's get a clean paint palette out. We're going to put some blending gel off to the side. Okay, so there's our blending gel. I can't see it, and it self-levels. It's already spreading out as far as it can. We're going to grab our spa blue. Now, what, baby?
I want to watch the Kingdom on this.
All right, we'll go watch it.
No, I don't want it off.
Oh, well, then you'll have to wait till I'm done painting. You'll have to go play until I'm done. And so all we're doing is I just put a little bit on the tip of my brush. I just started working it in, and I'm starting to pull that blending gel out and see what it does. It makes a milky consistency. That is a sheer. That's not as sheer as I want it to be, though. So that's going to shear it out even more. So I want a good bit of blending gel, very little paint. Okay. Let me show you what we're about to do. Oh, are you okay? Actually, I am jumping the gun. Since that's a dry time extender, I'm going to leave my brush over there we're not done with this yet. We want to take our burlap and we want to shade this mess. He's fine, baby. He's just being a little old man. Someone is on his lawn. He's just being grumpy. I'm using blending gel all the time. It works. I'm telling you, blending gel thins it out more. So say you like a lighter wash of a blend on your floating or on your shading. Blending gel is thinner and it's wetter and it spreads the paint out even more. So if you like a really washed out look, okay, we got have burlap here. No, is it burlap or is it fawn? It's burlap. You could also use fawn, but for this purpose, we're going to use burlap. And all I'm doing is I'm putting it on the very, just outlining our paper. When I need more blending gel, I'll make sure I put it on the back of my brush, or more floating medium, I'll put it on the back of my brush. When I need more pigment or paint, I'll put it on the front of my brush. What happened? You got...
Can we take a bath?
After I'm done painting.
Okay. I'm going to take a bath.
She's like got popsicle all over her.
I'm going to take a bath.
After I'm done painting.
Okay.
There we go. We're going to flip it over and we're going to do the bottom. Remember, I always try to do directional painting first, like anything that's going east and west or north and south. I pick a direction and I paint everything going in that direction first. Let it dry. And then I come back and I paint the opposite direction, the intersecting direction. So we have this little section here. Go. We have this little section here. Okay, now all that, now there is some more east and west on here, but it makes my brush go over that. I don't necessarily want to do that. So we're going to blow dry this real quick. Floating medium dries faster than blending gel, so just FYI on that. There we go. Had we not blow dried that, that would have erased everything and dirtied up our brush. We don't want to do that because we would have had to go over that original crosshair right there before it was dry. Yours should be, oh, Mandy. Oh, Wanella says hers should be there today. Did you order some blending gel and some floating medium? They carry it at most of the craft stores. If they carry folk art or deco art, now these are folk art products. I'm still looking for a deco art. So deco art, if you're watching and you have a product, let me know because I'd much rather stay within one paint company's line if I can help it. There are a couple of colors that I have yet to find in deco art that I still kind of hold true to. But once I get one of those replaced, we'll probably, and flamenco red is one of them, especially since I can't find tomato red locally anywhere. Flamenco red and apple barrel. What is the other one? I was looking for it. Territorial beige. Now they do have sable something, and it's close. It's just when you want territorial beige, you want territorial beige, that color, right? Like close but no cigar, like too red in the too much red in the color, and that kind of messes it up. So now I'm going on all the north and south division lines.
I want a straw for this.
Okay, go get you one. No, I used to do the same thing when I was a little girl.
What is it?
Okay, so a good mom hack for littles, if you, or grandma hack too. If you're watching some your littles during the summer and you've got those popsicles, but they're too little to really hold their popsicle, or that, you know, when Raylyn was about a year old, she wasn't coordinated quite yet to know how to eat a popsicle. I would wait for it. I would wait for it to melt just a little bit, and I'd stick a straw in it, and she just sucked it out of a straw. And it was the cutest thing. I loved it. Actually, it's one of my favorite summer pictures of her. She was about a year old. If I can find it, I'll post it or share it. It's somewhere in the archive of my old Facebook pictures. Okay, there we go. There's that. So let's blow dry that. Then we can go over our message in a bottle. So Wanella burlap is really close to fawn. In fact, I'll do a comparison. Fawn is a little bit bright. Well, let me not lie.
Mommy, where's the scissors?
Burlap is a little bit lighter than fawn.
Give me the scissors. So cute. Oh, why I keep calling them scissors?
They are scissors. Burlap is a little lighter than fawn. So you can add a little bit of maybe raw sienna, some honey brown, something to deepen it up if you need it to be deeper. But I like fawn because it's really good with all of the skin tone colors. What's close to Key West in deco art? Key West would probably be Bahama Blue, maybe. Is that close? I don't have Key West to... No. Key West would probably be Sea Breeze, right? Or... Are we getting close? I don't have my Key West because I do have Key West as well. Wait, let me not lie. I've got Key West right there. I do have Key West. So Bahama Blue. No, Sea Breeze. This is Sea Breeze. Sea Breeze is probably the closest. Key West is probably one shade lighter, but Sea Breeze is probably the closest. Let's see. Okay, so now we can take our message in a bottle, color with our blending medium or blending gel. Okay, make sure now we want to go quick and with as orange and with as few strokes as possible. We just want to go over. Okay. We don't want to undo. Actually, we're going to pull in a little bit more blue. And it's okay to have streaks. This is supposed to look like glass, right? We are going to go over our burnt sienna. That's okay. We're going to let that dry. And there we go. Probably pull in a little bit more of that blue. I want a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. And we're done with the glass look. This is going to take a few more seconds and a lot more heat to blow dry all of that blending gel. Because remember, blending gel is a dry time extender, okay? Floating medium, it just helps with floating, okay? It is kind of considered a dry time extender, but not really. It's not going to dry much slower than regular paint. Blending gel is a legit, that is its purpose, dry time extender that helps with the aid of blending. So it does take a little longer to blow dry. So we're going to set it on low, and at the very end, we'll blast it, okay? Good deal, because that's a fave. Marie, it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites in the let's see, I actually have them right here. These are my favorites. I picked up some of the new ones. You put a croissant on a popsicle.
Oh, God.
So she made a croissant popsicle. I freeze our croissants. I buy them from the bakery at Walmart, and I put them in the freezer because we don't eat them very often. The kids want a sausage, egg, and cheese every once in a while, so I'll pull them out of the freezer. Right, go, baby. Braylon. She's set free. It's like having a loose dog without a fence, right? Like, I'm nervous that she's going to get out of the fence. That's a horrible analogy. But, she knows I'm preoccupied, so she is testing the limits. No, don't throw it away. Just put it on the stove. It'll thaw out in due time. Yep, perfect. And then whenever it's time for lunch, I'll make you a little sandwich with it. All right. Isn't it crazy how the price on Amazon for paint varies? It does, Wanella. I mean, they can go from the same price as craft stores to $6 a bottle on that. Like, it's crazy how they think they can get whatever they want for it. They have them on the website, just way cheaper at Hobby. It really is way cheaper at Hobby Lobby now that all the Hobby Lobbies have gone down to decor just across the board. The Americanas being just $1, right? I am so happy about that we don't have to wait for a sale. You know, I was really bummed when they took our discount away, but now it's starting to make a little sense. They just took their sweet time getting that implemented, right? Okay, so we're going to take our raw sienna, no, our burnt sienna. I'm going to go back one more time with a base coat. Won't take but a second, and just kind of freshen that up. If I was smart, I would have saved this rope for after we did the bottle, but that's okay. That's okay. Because we did a great base coat. This isn't going to take but a second to freshen up. There is some shading that we're going to do on here. All right, y'all don't forget, if you SHRE and spread the good word, if you splatter the paint, as some say, if you sprinkle the goodness out into the interwebs, I have a blank one of these ready to ship out. Ready to ship out. And what we'll do is we'll take that SHRE list that Facebook accumulates for me, and Raylyn will just pick a random one off of the list. Once she starts reading, though, I'm going to have to find a different system because we don't want no favoritism played. We don't need no shady business, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, baby, if you want a snack, there's the snack bucket right there. I put it in your reach. Baby, let's stop using the scissors. We're not just going to cut up a straw just for the sake of using our scissors. So afraid. She's wild and free. Right. Have you thought about a get-together? I have. I'm thinking about one in September. What do you think? Like, I'm thinking late September, maybe early October. That's what I'm thinking. And it won't be as organized as a regular paint retreat because I want to keep the cost as low as possible. You can just pick me, Terry. Because you can just pick me. No big deal. Okay. No, do not do that, baby. You need to go play.
But today is my dishes day.
No, you need to go play.
No, I know.
Yeah, no, you need to go play. Baby, Mama's being as sweet as, look at me right now. Mama's being as sweet as possible as she can be. And you're pushing limits knowing that that's, yeah. 1, 2, 3. That's what I thought. Let's go play. Go play in your room, or go play. You can come play My Little Ponies right here. Either one, I don't care, but we're not going to play in the dishes because there's knives in there. Okay? Mommy or Daddy has to do the dishes.
I want some too.
All right, so we are going to, let me find a, I picked up milk chocolate, but it never made it into my paint cart. So we need a color that's darker than our bleach sand, but not so dark that it's super, how about some khaki tan? Actually, will burlap do it? Burlap isn't, you know what we'll do? We'll take burlap. We've already got burlap on our thing. We're going to add a drop of traditional, I mean, when I say a drop, I mean a drop of traditional burnt umber, just to deepen it up just a little bit more. We don't need a lot. We just need enough to float. I probably could have taken that and put it in the bleach sand, but I think with the bleach sand, it was so light, it would have been really hard to do so. All right, so we're going to bring our blending tray over. So I always have a clean tray, not my messy paint tray. I'm going to pull in some floating medium. I have literally a pea-size bit of floating medium right here in this little corner, and it stays clean at all times. I'm going to prime my brush and make sure I don't have any. So I'm just going back and forth with floating medium. I'm making sure my brush is nice and clean. There's no hidden paint in there. I'm going to pick up some of that paint that I just created. And I'm going to load my brush up. Now, the reason I do this is I want to make sure we're floating medium right here. This is right here is floating medium. See how it's crystal clear? And right here we've got all of our pigment. I want it to stay like that. The second I start seeing pigment over on the floating medium side, my brush is dirty. I need to abandon it, clean it, and get it loaded again. Okay. And whenever I need to, my brush is drying out, I just dip the back end, the floating medium side, into the floating medium puddle. And it keeps my floating medium clean so that I'm not using too much. Floating medium really does last a long time. Even if you do a lot of projects, it lasts a long time. Okay. This is nice and dark. We probably should have bumped down in. I'm gonna bring. Let's just keep going with it. We can always tone it down later if we need to. So how I would tone this down is I would probably bring in a lighter color into that mixture that we made, or I can take a clean brush with just floating medium worked into it, and just kind of wash it over. It'll kind of erase a little bit of this right here. So that's a little dark for my taste. This is more so what I was wanting, just a little hint. So I put more floating medium and not any more pigment, and I'm just going to kind of wash that away and walk it out just a little bit. Okay. Okay, and we don't want a lot on our brush. We just want a little bit. We just want a little feather-like touch. And I'm using very light pressure and very little. My bristles are barely bending with the wood. All this is doing is creating depth. It's giving the perception of depth. Making this look a little rounded, dirty, used a little bit, like a sand dollar is found in the dirt, right? I am deepening this towards the bottom of our sand dollar because our shadow will be darker down there naturally. So let's make that a little darker than this up here. Okay. I want to get this little spot right here. Where you going, baby girl? If you were wondering, I want to paint transparent pink over black. What do you think about that? I want to see the pink too. Oh, that might be a fun, I don't know. We need to figure out what would the use for that be, because I can see it. I can see transparent pink over black. Have you thought about a get together? We've answered that. Wheel of Luck or another app will help draw names. You're right. And I use that. There's one, I can't remember what it's called, but I do use one of those generators for certain things. Pink over black. How do you think? How do I do that? Just like we did here. Paint a base coat of black. Make sure it's completely dry. Honestly, I would probably do gray, like a really dark charcoal gray shade in black. And then do the blending gel, which is a little bit of pink on your brush, and blend and do this right here, what we did here, wash it out, and then do the same thing. I did ask, didn't I? I asked. The joy of motherhood sometimes. Okay. All right, let's go on to let's do our bottle. Let's go ahead and start shading our bottle, just because I know what color we're going to use to shade our bottle. I'm running out of floating medium, so let's go ahead and add a little bit more to our tray. we're going to, since I washed my brush in some dirty water, I want to make sure that my brush is still clean, and it is. So all I did was I dipped it in the floating medium. And and that's crystal clear right there. So now let's add some Indian turquoise. Okay. And we're just going to go around town. I think I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to do a wider. So all I'm doing is I'm making sure I dip my brush in more paint than normal. I want it to be a little wider than this up here. This was like 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little less. Good job. Did you wash your hands? Did you wash your hands? Yeah, let's do that. There's soap in there. She likes the little hand pump soap, the foam soap. So to encourage her to wash her hands, I'll make sure I put that in there. Otherwise, she'll say, I don't like that soap. I don't like that soap. And the battles. We pick our battles, right? And it's not even just with kids. Sometimes with our husbands, we pick my battles. With our friends, I pick my battles. It's human nature to be a little on the side sometimes, depending on how we approach our day. And throughout the day, you get these little moments of, I need to pick my battles, no matter who you're dealing with. And with her, I've learned I need to be really, really pick my battle. I need to remind myself to pick my battles because she's my child and because she's little. I find myself challenging her sometimes just to assert my dominance. I'm like, Erika, just pick your battles. Was it really worth the heartache that we just went through? Like, was that hill really the hill we needed to die on because of X, Y, and Z? No. But washing your hands, yep, nope, it is. Especially after what we just went through the last couple of years. Let's encourage her. Let's start that good habit right there. All right, so I'm not going to shade underneath any of this right here. Remember, it's inside the bottle. It doesn't get any shading, right? But this right here, it does get a little bit of shading just underneath, just lightly. Like I said, we really loaded our brush up with, for the edges. We're going to do a very, very light shadow underneath this. And it's just going to be underneath it. I'm not going to do it on top. Okay, so just light pressure. I'm dictating how much is getting put down by the pressure. So I use more paint and more pressure on this edge than I am underneath this rope. I'm using less paint, less pressure. I'm just making sure my brush stays clean as well as far as the floating medium side so that I don't get a halo. The floating medium will look darker. I just got a little bit of paint right there. Will look darker or changed color as it's wet, but it will dry crystal clear. Wanted to say I am busy at work. Oh, hey, Becca. Well, you go back to work. We'll be here with the replay. Don't worry. What, baby girl?
We're gonna paint this. So
are you gonna paint that?
Yeah, the toilet paper thing. So, yeah.
The toilet paper thing?
Yeah, right here. So we're gonna paint the blue.
She's teaching her class now.
No, I'm not teaching her class.
Okay, so now we're gonna go. I'm just kind of shading around our sand dollar to create just a little bit of depth there. We're gonna make sure we get a little bit underneath this little knot. There we go. But like I said, we're not gonna go over the top of the
We're not going
ribbon.
over.
I keep wanting to call it a braid, but the ribbon. I'm really fighting hard not to call it a braid. Oh Lordy, she's using my
palette.
My blending palette. Oh no. Let me add a little bit of Indian turquoise. So remember our base coat color for our bottle was spa blue, and we're using Indian turquoise to shade, and it was a perfect match. Now, usually when I go to shade, I would normally pick my shade color and ghost it out for my base coat color, just so that everything's in the same color family. But I really wanted to use spa blue like that. Honestly, I'm being real. Spa blue. I just wanted to. I still had the plastic on it. I wanted to play with it today, so that's why we ended up going with spa blue today. I've done pink glow black light over pink glow. Oh, the black light. Yeah, I have some of that. I've just never used it before. Over black, it gives the black a pink tint. Okay, so it's not actual. Okay, so it's the glow in the dark paint. I've never played. I have it, but I never played with it. It went on clearance at Hobby Lobby, so I picked them up. I assumed they were opaque paints. That's good to know. I'm glad somebody said something about that.
I need to go wash my hands again.
You go wash your hands again. Okay, so the burlap and traditional burnt umber mixture that we use to shade here, I'm just going to use it to fill in our little peaks of the sand dollar. So I did the little, I'm going to do one side. There we go. Okay. Okay, I probably could have bumped down and brush size to get into that, but I didn't. This 3/8 is probably my favorite angle brush for smaller projects. I do like a 1/2 inch. 3/8 is probably my go-to for smaller projects. I do like a 1/2 inch. I'll show you the difference whenever we're done fussy painting this in. And if you wonder what I mean by fussy painting, this is it right here. Like really taking your sweet time and staying inside the lines. It's the equivalent of a coloring page, paint by number situation. It's when you really just need the paint to stay in one particular area because there's not a lot of room for error. Baby girl, we really need to be careful with that, okay? Let's not get paint everywhere because it's really hard to remove from your clothes and from the wood chair.
It's okay.
I don't think the toilet paper roll is worth ruining Granny's table over. Okay, so there we go. Got just a couple more little spots. And then I'm going to go in with a Q-tip.
Mommy, what are these?
Actually, no, because the Q-tip's going to get muddy.
Mommy, what is this?
That right there is clear paint.
Clear paint?
Yep.
I thought it was water.
Nope, it's clear paint.
Oh, clear. It looks like jewelry.
It looks like jewelry. I'm really concentrating. I felt it. Like I could feel how hard I was concentrating. Okay, there we go. We're gonna let that dry. I'm gonna clean my brush. I'm gonna go in with let's go in with a round brush. I need to get different sizes of angle brushes. I only have 2 sizes, Terry. Woo, girl. Woo. We need to get you some more sizes. Y'all know I love my Royal and Lane nickel. I have seen a pack. Now they're not going to be the sable hair brushes. I prefer sable hair, even if they're synthetic sable hair. These are synthetic, so they hold their shape really well. That's the only thing I'm really funny about. I like the darker sable hair. Let me show you all what I mean by darker. Let me put it here. See, they kind of have a honey color, and then they go to a darker color here. And what I call my princesses and my Menta. Baby, let's not mess with any of that, okay? Let's not rearrange all of Mama's stuff.
I said sorry.
Okay, I heard you're sorry.
Oh, okay.
So they're the same brushes, basically. Like they're the exact same brushes, just different handles. These are kind of a plasticky. These are metal. I I love them. They're both they are my all-time favorite brushes. Not gonna lie, especially if you're going to be really working on your technique. If you're just needing good brushes that will hold up against some paint abuse, like say you have a door hanger of the month club, or you really knock out a bunch of orders and you just need something that gets the job done and takes a good bit of abuse and keeps their shape for a good long time. The Royal and Langnickel Big Kid brushes, Big Kid Choice, I think is what they're called. Big Kid Choice brushes are my backup. They look like this. This is the Big Kid Choice brushes. And they come in all different sizes. And they have classroom sets as well, so that you can get them in bulk. I used to use the Big Kid Choice brushes for paint parties, and they lasted years through multiple paint parties. A lot of people who don't know how to take care of brushes on a regular basis, they withstood that kind of abuse, right? Rochelle, I like Royal and Langnickel, like all Royal and Langnickel. That's probably, I have very few brushes that aren't Royal and Langnickel, and all my Royal and Langnickel brushes have stood like I've never thrown one away because the brush didn't hold up. The only ones that I have gotten rid of is because I was a bad brush mama and couldn't revive it from what I had done to it, like leaving it like that, gooped with paint. That's the only time I've ever. Hey, Miss Pam. Oh, Miss Pam, you missed it. You missed it. Raylyn was wearing your apron. We modeled it for you. We modeled it for you. Hey, Raylyn, Miss Pam misses you. Miss Pam, have I sent you that picture yet? I need to send you a picture. So the day that Miss Pam gave her the apron, we were at a picture appointment for Raylyn to have some pictures done. And Miss Pam, I'm going to mix my burnt sienna and my traditional burnt umber together to get a little bit of a darker color here. Literally just one drop of traditional burnt umber into that burnt sienna, okay? Nothing crazy. We just want, just like our burlap that we kind of made a shade color with. I usually take the shade color and ghost it out for our base color, but I didn't have my milk chocolate. I really wanted milk chocolate for that, and I bought it. It's just in a bag that hasn't made it to be put up process yet. Like you bring it into your craft room and you put it up. Well, we haven't done that yet. Not with that bag. Okay, so we've got our mixture here. May just be one of those situations where.
Mommy, look at my invention. It's called a Ziggle House.
Ooh. And just like we did with the rope, with the glass, we're going to just stick to one side. We're just going to stick to one side. Okay. Let's get that out of the way. We're going to work our way from the bottom to the top. We're just creating separation. We're just creating separation. Okay, I think I'm going to go with just the traditional burnt umber. Ray, get away from the sink, baby. Get away from the sink. I'm just following. Yeah, traditional burnt umber. We're just going with it. Very light. Very airy. She is obsessed with the kitchen because she knows she's not supposed to be in there. Okay, I'm going to come back and do these 3 little sections after they dry. So I'm going to do the bottom. Okay. And pick up a little bit more. When I pick it up, I'm only getting the first couple of bristles. Just teeny tiny little bit. One of my sons proposed to his wife at the lake with a message in a bottle that washed up at the perfect moment. I hope someone caught that on camera. that is one of those moments that, oh, that would have been just perfect. Oh, she's in the snack bucket. That's promising. So all I'm doing is I'm just following the shape of each little braid of the rope. And I'm just throwing my shadow there. Very light, very airy, very heavy and floating medium, light on paint. Okay. And like I said, if you don't like how that, say it's not dark enough for you, let it dry and come back in with a second coat. Don't deepen your color by darkening your color. Deepen your color by adding another coat. What size is this piece? Wanella, this is a 10-inch. It's a just shy of 10 by 6. I think it's a 10 by 5.8. It's skinnier than it is tall. So I always do the longest edge on the 10 inches. If you want a blank of this, like I said, you can, SHRE, you can spread the good word and be entered in for the gift away. But you could also order a 10-inch or whatever size you want. They do anywhere from a 4-inch, which would be perfect for like an ornament. Oh, Pam! How cute would this be for like a Christmas ornament? Even if it was 20 years ago that he proposed for a message in a bottle. How cute would with the year he proposed, or will you marry me? Oh my goodness. How cute. No, we're not playing with the cereal. No, ma'am. No, because you pour cereal and then you never eat it. I think you just like knowing that you can pour the cereal and that you can get the milk. And I don't want to waste milk like that. Milk's too expensive. Not right now. Wait till mommy can eat some cereal with you. I'll eat cereal. You want cereal for lunch? Because I could do some cereal for lunch.
No, I'm getting you some cereal.
You're getting who?
I'm getting you some cereal.
I don't want any cereal right now.
I made it.
No, I'm good. Hey, why don't you go get your food from your kitchen and make me a meal? How about that? You can make it right there.
No.
That's not what you want to do?
No, I just want to do this.
No, I don't want cereal. Raylan, I'm about to get very ugly because you're not listening.
Okay. I will come out.
The kitchen. Thank you. She's testing my patience. Or Santa, naughty or nice. Oh, that would be so cute. Like a Santa off-duty kind of thing. The naughty or nice list. Making it to Santa on the beach because right now he's on vacation. Raylan. All right, so now that remember we said we were going to go back and do this part? Let's do that while we're thinking about it. Now that we got our groove down. Here we go. Oh, I love it. I love it. I was thinking the same thing. Oh, I'm glad that we were thinking the same thing. I got too giddy about that. I got too excited. Like a 4-inch blank would be perfect. Maybe a 5-inch since it's so skinny compared to some. Raylan, get out of the kitchen. You've reached your limit. I know you have, baby. Mama's not getting mad. Mama's just she's trying to find extra kind words to use because you're also testing your limits because you're 5. That's what 5-year-olds do. What? We'll go play. God, that sounds like a plan, baby girl.
It's not a plan.
Okay, so there we go. Let's finish this rope again, trying to call it a braid. This is how light I'm working with it. I have not reloaded my brush. I say that and watch me have to reload it now. I'm just going to swipe it in the brown. She started singing as soon as she shut her door. She holds little concerts in there. There we go. Now, the only thing we need to do for this rope is to add the little tassels to it. But we're not done yet. We still need a shade up here. Still need shade up there. And I think we need to add a little shading to our little inlays there. Let's add, okay, so we've got, she contaminated my floating medium once she was playing with my, so we're going to add just a new one. It wasn't gone. It's just, I could see the little hint of blue from her little brush. Okay, there we go. Let's grab our Indian turquoise. Go back over our Indian turquoise spot. Okay. We're going to go up here. Now, we are going to have to deepen it, our Indian turquoise, just a little bit. To make this pop. Okay, got that little bit right there. Clean our brush. Let's grab ocean blue, maybe. Yeah, hey, I'm good. That was ocean blue. So all the shading, you're using blending gel. Nope, I switched over to floating medium when I started floating. Blending gel, the only thing I used the blending gel for was the message in the bottle, the kind of glassy look on top of that. That's the only thing I used the blending gel for. I wanted you to see that that the translucent look. Say you want something that's translucent. The blending gel really does a good job at making paints more sheer than they really are. Ornaments would be a cute group activity when on a beach vacation. Put each name on. Oh, that would be a cute little beach vacation. That would be so cute. Now you make me want to go to the beach. Okay, so there we go. We're just adding a little separation between I'm just picking up blue. I haven't picked up any more floating medium since I loaded the blue. And say it's not dark enough. Say it's not dark enough. Let me show you this. Because it's really not dark enough for me. Not for this section. So I'm going to blow dry it. Hey, Miss Brenda. Hey, Elijah. Have we decided if that's a boy or girl yet? Have we decided if Elijah's getting a baby sister or baby brother? I have not seen that particular update. I have been, well, I also haven't been like stalking, but I've been waiting for it. Let me put it that way. Been looking for the boy or girl. Are we still too early to know if it's a boy or girl? I need to know this. I need to know if little baby AJ's getting a baby brother or sister. I love babies, y'all. I love babies so much. So you see how I'm deepening this up? Not by changing the color, but by adding a second layer. Y'all see that? Okay. Oh, 2 weeks. I swear. That part of a pregnancy, it doesn't matter if it's mine or somebody else's or like an adoption. This part gets me every time. Okay. I want to add a little highlight. Let's add a little highlight. And I haven't done this with this brush before, but we're gonna, I think I have a smaller one. I bought these brushes at the Dollar Tree, y'all, and I'm kind of excited about them. You're gonna want them. So these are the Wet n Wild makeup brushes. One's an eyeshadow blender brush, one's a crease brush, one's a bigger crease brush. I don't know, concealer brush or whatever. We're gonna take one of them. Let's take the fluffiest one. Let's take our light buttermilk. We just want to tap it into the light buttermilk. just a little bit. We don't want a lot, and that was a lot. I'm going to brush the majority of this off. So we're going to do this until we have hardly any there. That was too big. I was wanting to put a little bit of highlight on my rope. I don't know if that's going to work like I'm thinking in my head. I'm going to erase that before it dries. Okay, yeah. So I do want to put it on this glass up here. So I've got light buttermilk on my brush. I'm going to stipple it in. I'm going to kind of brush it out with a good bit of pressure. And we're going to add a little bit of highlight. I'm just buffing it on there. Right at the very peak of the curve of the glass. I'm going both directions, clockwise, and I'm going backwards, counterclockwise. Okay. Now, I have yet to find a paintbrush that does this good of a job. So I ventured into makeup brushes. There we go. I'm going to take my baby wipe because it got a little heavy. And I can just take this has been a baby wipe that's been sitting out most of the project here. So it's not super damp. Look at that. Nice little highlight on our glass there. You can take a lighter blue, which we really don't have much of a lighter blue because we use spa blue. So let's continue using our light buttermilk. You just don't want to use white because we used a lot of these creamier tones. Let me show you what I'm doing. So I've got the light buttermilk and I'm just kind of blending it into the brush and then coming off to the side and seeing what it's laying down. Okay, so I start here. You don't see much, but the more you go in, there's paint on this brush. It's going to build up and build up and build up. See, you're starting to see it, okay? So I'm going to just give us a little bit of a hint. I'm going to work it down. This is definitely one of those steps that you can totally skip. This was looking just fine without it. Okay? But it's one of those steps that really make it look a little more 3D. And if you're like me, you're trying to get away from using those paint pens as often as possible. Paint pens have a perfect place in the painting world. And they are an amazing tool. But I don't necessarily want to lean on them as much as I had been over the years. I want to lean more on my technique than the pen itself. There are certain styles that the pen is amazing for. But how cool is it to get this little bit of a highlight right there? So I just come back over here. I just buff it out into the brush and I pull it out. I just want to make sure there's not like super wet paint on the brush. That's all I'm doing. I'm just kind of going down the curve of the brush. So curve of the bottle right there. I think I want to do maybe this side. I would love to do this on the braids of the rope, but I think I need a smaller brush to get that job done. I don't think I have a small enough brush. I think I need a makeup brush that's smaller than this. This is like one of those really fluffy eyebrow brushes, not eyebrow brushes, eyeshadow brushes. This one's the Wet n Wild from the Dollar Tree. And I believe that's what this one was called, was the eyeshadow brush. And it was $1. Well, $1.25 at this point. There we go. Now we got some highlight on the bottle. I love kids. I've been trying to convince my husband to foster, possibly adopt. I feel like I miss out on so much having not having my own. Mandy, I swear everyone walks their own journeys, right? And my sister doesn't have kids. And I know you and my sister really have a lot in common. Because you're very involved with your family, and I'm going to clean this brush because I am done with it. I don't want to do too much blending and highlighting. Like you, when I talk to you, you really remind me of my sister Sarah. You really do. Like just the y'all's journey, like the stages of life that y'all are in and have taken, and you remind me of that. And she says the same thing, even though she is like you, like has had a hand in being there for nieces and nephews and all the baby cousins and all that. She still craves that part of lifing as well. I think as women, we like, it's just a natural yearning for us, even if it's not like I'm gonna ghost out our burnt sienna. I'm gonna attempt it, y'all. We may jack this whole thing up, but we're gonna go out with a bang. I'm gonna take the burnt sienna and just a drop of light buttermilk. We're gonna dust it out. Okay, we're gonna dust it out. We're gonna take the back of our brush. I'm gonna use a different Wet n Wild brush for this though. So this is about a half and half mixture. Well, there's probably 4 drops burnt sienna, 1 drop light buttermilk. And I probably lightened it way too much, but we're going to go with it. And this one, I wish they had the names of the brush like most makeup brushes do. This is like a crease, but it's really flat. It looks like a really wide filbert brush. So we're just going to do the same thing. We're just going to wait until it looks like it's dry brush. And that's basically what we're doing. We're just dry brushing it on. We're just going to buff in a little bit of highlight on the very peak of each braid. It's going to make that shading really pop. Now, doing this right here prolongs the project time. So if you've got the time to do it, I say practice it. Because I really do think, just like shading, highlighting amplifies your project. Y'all, look at that. Look at that. Look at this side of the braid versus this side of the braid. I'm telling y'all. So all I did was I lightly tapped my brush into that paint, and I'm buffing it out until it's almost a dry brush. We just don't want it to be so thick paint that it's distracting. And just laying this down on the very peaks of each braid. And it's just like shading. You can go back and build it up as much as you want. See how they're getting brighter and brighter with every little scruff. Okay. Oh, did you? Oh, I'm glad y'all got some time to really. Yeah, Sarah, my sister Sarah has been amazing. And I know I talk about her all the time. In fact, your sisters, no matter if you still like each other or not, sisters and cousins, I've always grown up being very close to my sister. Very, very, even if we fought like cats and dogs, me and my sister are best friends now. Like we're there for each other no matter what. I try to be there for even my sister-in-laws, you know, like once you're a sister in this family, it's a serious thing. So we take family very serious. Even if I can't stand your guts today, if you needed me, I'd be there. I probably wouldn't be smiling at you. There have been times my sister has gotten in wrecks, and she was not my favorite person at the time, but she got in a wreck or she needed someone. There was a time where she was in the hospital having some things on her brain looked at, and you know, she wasn't my favorite person at the time, But I also didn't want my sister sitting in the hospital not having dinner brought to her or saw about her. Of course, her and my husband, they have a soft spot for each other. Graham loves my sister. So that did kind of help situations a little better at that point. This was years ago. Hayden was probably about 10 years ago. But yeah, I mean, that it's one of those situations where you're always there for each other no matter what. My sister's always been there when it's come to my kids. And it's kind of the same situation where she kind of wishes that that part of her life, that it's kind of the what ifs, not necessarily wishing it would have been different, but just wondering what it would have been like. So I totally get you, because watching her go through that, because she still goes through it. She still goes through it. Watching her go through that, it's hard. Because even though I always wanted to have kids. In fact, I always wanted a house full. I grew up with a house full of kids. I always thought that was going to be my journey too. And then got pregnant at 19. And my journey totally changed from what naive little Erika thought for her life. The little plan she made. That little plan changed real quick. And I'm so happy it did. But, it's just human nature to wonder what the what ifs of life would have been like had the turns you taken not been different turns. You know what I mean? I always wonder what life would have been like had I not had Hayden so young. I'm glad I did, because he forced me to grow up. And I think that was probably the best thing. And he and I grew up kind of together. It's the joke I'm just buffing these out to be a little brighter. Look at that. I'm loving it. Look how good that looks. Oh my God. Marie Mosley, you just shut your mouth. We don't even need to know how much you love my sister. Marie, anytime Sarah's brought up, Marie's like, I love your sister. Like, I don't need to know that. I swear, Marie and my sister giggled one too many times at my expense at the last retreat. At the last 2 retreats. They giggled one too many times at my expense. In fact, they distracted. I was teaching. And they were sitting there making fun of me. Of course, it was more Sarah than Marie. So y'all don't gang up on Marie. It was more Sarah than Marie. Sarah will always find someone to recruit, but that's a sister thing. That is definitely a sister thing. My sister will recruit someone to be on her side and giggle at my expense. But she's the baby sister, so she's the little jokester. Y'all, look at that. I could just sit here and buff that out all day long, because it's just getting brighter and brighter and brighter, and I'm liking it every time I do it. I think I want to buff these out just a little bit more, but I kind of want to finish the project. So let's just add just a little bit. Just a little bit. It doesn't take but a second to build the color up once you've got a layer of the color down. I almost didn't do this part. I kept going back and forth in my brain, going, should I start teaching highlighting? Should I? Like, I think we've hit on shading a good bit, but I really need to take it one step further and like start teaching highlighting, because I think people are starting to grasp shading. Y'all, look at that. Look at that. Okay, so we're going to clean our brush. I'm an only child, so I'm so measly influenced. Oh, hey, my friend Regina. What you doing? Y'all, everybody say hi to Regina White. Y'all, Regina White's in the house. She makes the most beautiful wreaths ever. Sorry, a little shameless plug for my friend there. Little shameless plug. So all I'm doing to clean these brushes, okay? They're cheap brushes. They're easy to replace, although I think Ray and I are going to go to Dollar Tree and grab some backups, because I don't have backups. What you do is you dip them in your paint water. Since you didn't put a lot of paint on them to begin with, you just put them in your paint water, take your towel, and buff them out and lay them flat to dry. Okay. So we're going to clean our brush in the dirty paint water and just dry them off this way. Okay. Lay them flat to dry, just like the rest of your brushes. These you really want to keep nice and fluffy. These need to be fluffy, and the more you use them, the fluffier they'll be. So here we go. There's those brushes. Okay, let's add a little bit of shading to this, and I think we're done. Well, no, we need to add a little shading to that, and then we're done. So let's take our traditional burnt umber. Sandy's like, hey, Regina. So we're going to take our floating medium, load it up. Running out of spots to blend here. Our 3/8 angle. Y'all don't forget, for every person, and you can do it more than once. So if you have multiple places, you can do it more than once. For any person who spreads the good word that we're live here today, by tomorrow, I will be randomly picking someone to be gifted this, and I will send you a private message and say, hey, what's your mailing address? What's your mailing address? And Raylyn and I will send you some Happy Mail. And that Happy Mail will include this very cutout. Please disregard any hint of blue that might be on it because I accidentally started painting this while it was still stacked underneath. Forgive me. So all I'm doing is I'm just laying down just a little hint of a shadow on our cork where it meets the bottle. I'm not going all the way around it because remember our light source is coming from this side, right? So I'm not going all the way around it. I'm just giving it a little bit of shadow just to give it some definition. And then we're going to take that same traditional burnt umber. I'm going to take that same traditional burnt umber. And we're just going to go on the inside of each inlay. And I'm very feather-like brush strokes. Very feather-like brush strokes, very light, very airy. If you need to build it up, do a second layer. Don't change colors. And I'm going to build these two back up, the first two that I did, because I'm liking how this last one laid down. Oh man, this turned out way more dimensional than I expected it with all that highlighting that we did. So all that is it's a dry brush highlight. It's just a dry brush highlight technique. There's no skill there. It's just honestly, all the work is done in the amount of paint on your brush and the amount of buffing, because all it is, it's basically dry buffing with a dry brush. That's all it is. If you can keep your brush nice and light layers of paint, you can build it up just with like shading. You can build it up with layers until you get your desired look. And just hit the very peak. You don't want to do too much highlighting. You just want to hit the, like on the glass we did right here and right here. The very peaks of where the glass is most rounded, the very peak of where all the braids of the rope was most tip top. It just takes some vision. Choked on air. Sorry. Set myself up for success. Where is it? Y'all know me. Once I start getting choked up, I got to eat a peppermint because it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. We made it this long, though. I'm so proud of us. Proud of me. So proud. Okay. Still have a couple more little spots of the inlay. Just going to, I've used about every drop of floating medium on my palette. So I'm kind of proud of myself for that, for not wasting any of that. And you just pick a side. Bottom right, bottom right, bottom left, top, wherever your light source is coming from. Keep all your shading off to, like, if my light source is over here, I want to make sure all my shading is coming this way. It's coming this way. So I leave all this over here unshaded. That's where my highlight's going to go. And we may do some more workshops on how to determine what gets shaded, what gets highlighted. But really, it's more of an eyeball thing. Like, just kind of eyeball it. All right, there we go. There's our message in a bottle. And like I said, Miss Pam, will you marry me would be so precious. All right, so here we go. Here's our message in a bottle. So remember, if you SHRE, if you spread the good word, I've got this one ready to go out as Happy Mail to one very special person to be gifted away. Don't forget, if you put the word gnome in the comments, oh, now her head's blocking it. If you put the word gnome in the comments, you can still get this as a free printable template till the end of June. That will be going till the last day of June. As soon as July 1st, this hits the website as a purchasable template. Alrighty, thank you, Terry. Just starting to paint. Maybe one day mine will look that good. Well, Robin, you just keep practicing. And it really doesn't take much skill. I just cleaned that. Look what she did. Baby, these are my brushes. I will get you your own set of these brushes. How about that? How about we go to the store and we get you your own set? Is that good?
No.
Deal?
No.
No, why?
Because we're not going to the store anymore.
She is tired. We have been out of this house every day this week. I kind of just want to stay home. But I do want some of these backup brushes. All right.
I have to go in Daddy's room.
Yeah, you can go lay down in Daddy's room.
No, I have to go in Daddy's room.
I'm going to come turn your movie on for you, okay?
I need help to get in there.
When the AC is on, which it's on right now, if we shut my bedroom door, I'm sure everybody's house has one of these, like the suction of the airflow, it like sucks that door closed, and she's not strong enough yet to get it open when the AC is on. Romo is fine. You are not. She's reached her limit. An hour and 45 minutes is apparently her limit. So this was our project today. If you paint one, I'd love to see it, even if you use paint pen. Oh, you know what we haven't done? Let's do this real quick. Let's finish it. Okay. Do you see all the paint on the edge? Let's make that go away. Let's get our faux.
That marker?
Yes, it is. Let's get our faux. This is the dark brown one. This is walnut. I don't want the walnut one. I want the black one. I have black.
That's brown.
Yeah, I like the black one. They all work, but I really want the black one. It works the best.
This one. I want to paint this one, Mommy.
Nope, that's for somebody else. You can't paint that one.
Why?
Because I am going to be gifting that to someone
else.
One of our friends that painted with us today.
Who? I
don't know yet.
But I really want to paint it.
I can cut you your own. How about that?
Yeah. I'll make it like white. I'll make some.
Alrighty. See how it cleaned all those paint splatters on the side up? Even if you cut yours out with a jigsaw.
Ooh.
Or a scroll saw. Or a multi-tool. This right here gives you that faux laser etched look. Or if, like I said, even if you did paint a laser etched, if you want to bring it back to having clean lines, all it does is it just freshens up the lines to where I have no clue what she's putting in my hair. Is that a marker?
No.
What is it? What is it? Oh, it's a pen. It's the stylus of a pen. It cleans up the edges to where it's not distracting to see all that paint on the edge. I really like clean edges, especially on pieces that we take this much time on. I mean, how much time did it really take for us to clean all those edges up? My biggest pet peeve back in the day when I used to do this with a brush was to do it with a brush. It used to drive me crazy. Can I see this as... Oh, I can see this. Got me all choked up, Terry. I was about to say I was going to have to... That was a hard pass. I thought you were asking me if I would go get this as a tattoo. I was like, love you, but no. Although my daddy is a sailor. This would be fitting. I could put my daddy's name in it. I can see this as a tattoo. You know, this would be a fun tattoo. It really would. You still got me giggling over here. What pen is that? I use, okay, so these are and I like the black one the most. You can use any of them in the pack. It comes in a 3-pack. It comes with this. It comes with mahogany, which is a darker brown. It comes with walnut. Walnut is probably my least favorite because it's the lightest. I think it's the walnut. One of the brown ones is not my favorite. It's not as opaque. The black one's my favorite, and I will buy the 3-pack just to get the black one. They all 3 work. These are from the Dollar Tree. These are just furniture stain pens. So say you get a scratch on your furniture and you need to touch it up and just kind of buff it out. That's what these are intended for. They're in the automotive section for some reason. They're in the automotive section, and I buy them in bulk. I probably have about 3 or 4 packs of them going at any point in time. Black one's my favorite, though. It's my go-to. That's exactly where I get them from. Mandy, I get them from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if she is.
No.
She's twisting my hair. I'm scared. Okay, y'all. I'm going to end while she is still occupied and being good. I'm going to go ahead and end the live. I thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. If you paint one, please let me see it. I want to see all the progress that you're making in your painting journey with all the tips and tricks that we're giving here on the Facebook page. And if you enjoyed what you're doing today, I highly recommend you looking into the Paint Studio. This is what we do every month. We break out new paint tips, tricks, and techniques to up your painting game to the next level.
Really?
I thought she'd come here. Until next time, I will see y'all. Bye.